Bienvenido! How are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key and we are live for Valencia against Real Madrid in La Liga. Massive Valencia fan. Of course, huge Valencia fan. I'm here watching my team tonight at the Mestalla, Valencia, Real Madrid. Come on, Valencia. So yeah, we're enjoying the game tonight. How's it going? Wherever you're watching this, you can watch it on Premier Sports tonight if you want to join in with us and watch the game. It is live on Premier Sports. Why is it so crappy? Why is it so crappy? I see it's all right now once it's a bit closer. It's really not, is it? Why is it so naff? Why is the mic so naff tonight? Mic's garbage tonight. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe it needs to be a bit further away. I don't know. Either way, we'll go on. We'll plough on as best we can. Yeah, that's going to have to do, I'm afraid. Forzing says, Key, thoughts on Newcastle wanting Curtis Jones to replace Sandro Tonali? Yeah, you can have him. You can have him. Ryan says 3-1, Real Madrid to win. And Adam says, Key, good on you. Keep on trucking despite earlier result. Hey, you've got to, mate. You've got to. It's important. It's very important. Shell, how's it going? Albo, good to see you. Valencia have to win. Valencia absolutely do have to win. Yeah, Carlos Corberán's Valencia will absolutely need to win this one. So yeah, we're rooting for a Valencia win tonight, but I don't think it's going to be the case. Liam, are you a Valencia fan now tonight, Key? I am, mate. Yeah, I'm a massive Valencia fan now. It's all about Valencia. Ethan, good evening, Ethan. How's it going, lad? Good win for you, lads. Daniel, have you changed your mind on the pen, Key? No, it wasn't a pen. It wasn't a penalty. It was the softest. Do you know what it was? It was the second softest penalty we've seen this season after the Leeds one. But again, sometimes that's the rub of the green that you get in the Premier League when City got a decision that massively went against them in the last game against Spurs, and tonight they've got a 50-50 decision, I guess, that goes their way. That's never a penalty, though. I don't care what anyone says. You don't want a penalty given for that in football. The ball is basically out for a goal kick. It's the second time that's happened to Liverpool this season. Mo Salah in. Mo Salah had another shocking night. Another absolutely shocking night. Julius, do you think you still get top 4? Yeah, we'll get top 4. Well, listen, Champions League probably is top 5, isn't it? But yeah, I think we'll certainly qualify for the Champions League next year. I'm not worried about that. The performance tonight was really good. Up to to be honest, even 1-1. 1-1 against City at home is not like a result to be sniffed at. It's not a bad result. 1-1 at home is fine. Like, they're a tough side. They're the second best, maybe the best side in the league. You never know. They might end up winning it. We don't know. But they're a very, very good side, City. It's not really a surprise when you look at what they brought off their bench versus what we brought off our bench. They're a good side. They were always going to be a challenge today, and a draw at City against City is not a disappointing thing. So it wasn't a terrible. No, I don't think it was a terrible performance. I don't think it's anything to, the manager should be reproached for it at all. Like, you're drawing against City and you basically concede late on to draw, and then a ridiculous decision from the referee / a stupid moment from the goalkeeper that gives him a decision to make. Again, bad decisions, individual errors from certain Liverpool players have characterised our season. It's not a structural issue. It's not anything the manager can influence from the bench. 3 stars says, I'll be in the doghouse. Took a month subscription out for Premier Sports on my credit card earlier, then logged in or so. I thought it took it on another payment out on my mum's card. Oh my god. Madhouse says, we're supporting the same side tonight, Key. I hate Real. Good lad. Shell says, I've got Juve v Lazio on TV. Oh, I'll enjoy Juve Lazio. Good luck with that one. Let us know how it goes. Rizzo says, kills me to say this, but United playing the best stuff in Europe. United are playing the best stuff in Europe. Are you watching much European football? They're certainly not playing the best stuff. Imus Over says, the Premier League is so inconsistent when it comes to refereeing. Yeah, very true. Brendan, what's the jersey, Keith? The jersey is Valencia. Yeah, it's Valencia. This is the one that Mendieta wore and Ayala. This was kind of 2002, 2003 Valencia season. Timothy, are you a fan of Valencia? I won't go as far as a fan of Valencia, but I am tonight. I am while they're playing Real Madrid, yeah. You can watch it on Premier Sport if anyone is wanting to watch along with this one. Then you can do, of course. You just need to go to Premier Sport. Villarreal and Espanyol are on tomorrow night. Yeah, 7:55. You can watch Valencia Real Madrid. Watch live. There you go. Come on. Estadio de Mestalla. Z, this man looks like he takes bat shots on a regular. What have you got with what have you got against people that take back shots? You wouldn't be homophobic now, would you? That's not very nice, is it? That's not very nice. You should do better than that, mate. Cecil Key, now that City won, you have to accept that the league isn't weak. When you said it yourself yesterday. No, I know, and I knew. I said that. Yeah, I said that. You know, Arsenal fans wanted City to win so that it looked like a title race. I agree. They absolutely needed City to win today, and they got it in the end. Fair play to them. Arsenal fans wanted a City win today, so that they could manufacture some sort of a title race. Let's be honest, there isn't a title race. Arsenal should walk it. If Arsenal bottle it, it's the biggest bottle job going. The biggest bottle job going. And they've got form for it. It's only 6 points now. Isn't it funny? Isn't it really funny, by the way, how it's gone from, if Liverpool had won tonight, that's the title wrapped up. That's what a lot of Arsenal fans were saying, by the way. The title's wrapped up. Now, though, just off one game. Isn't it funny? Just one game. That's all it takes with these people. Just one game. It's close. That'll give City confidence. You know, we need to be... Yeah. Don't talk nonsense. These people don't know what they're talking about. They're absolute reactionary mugs. A lot of them. Cecil says, here we go, manufactured title race. Never. It's true, though, Cecil. It's true. It's true. It's bang on. They absolutely wanted a City win today. A City win just to kind of let them know there's still a title race, and we've beat the famous old City side. We've beat the Pep Guardiola legends. We've beat them. Yeah, all right then. Kieran says, I'm looking forward to Thursday now. City should be only 3 points behind him. Well, it may be. It's entirely possible, isn't it? Entirely possible. City... I've got a big game midweek. Obviously, listen, Arsenal going to Brentford. Arsenal-Brentford on Thursday night. We're live for that one, by the way, on Thursday. Liverpool play Sunderland on Wednesday. We're doing West Ham Man United on Tuesday. It's going to be a big week of Premier League football. But City have got Fulham at home, and Fulham on the road are not particularly strong. Fulham at home, different prospect, albeit they got beat by Everton yesterday. But Fulham away, pretty naff. So City should win that one. The pressure then goes back onto Arsenal on Thursday night. And, you know, can Arsenal hack it? Brendan says, I don't watch that much of the leagues, considering the Premier League positions in Champions League is football overall just poor at the minute. Football overall, I think, has dropped at the top level, yes. The top level of the game has fallen a little bit. Hence why we're watching the standard of football in the top games that we are. Kieran, we have got a title race, let's be honest. And that's what they wanted, Kieran. Yeah, they wanted a title race. Because again, if Arsenal had won the league at a canter, which they probably should do, again, given the money they've spent, we've covered it before, they spent more than anyone else, they've got to win it. They've got to win it. They know that it's a massive bottle job if they don't win it. If Arsenal don't win it, they'll be laughed at eternity, for eternity. It's the biggest bottle job going. So the question is whether or not they can stomach the fight again, because they haven't in previous years. Maybe they do this time. Cecil says, I'll give you that. Sobol free kick was Roberto Carlos-esque. I mean, he probably would have done 2 in that game if Mo Salah didn't have the ego of an absolute tank. Yeah, we need to drop Mo Salah. Shell says they weren't that good at home yesterday. They weren't. Well, I mean, to be fair, they were good at home. I think just Everton played better, Shell. To give Everton their credit, Everton played really, really well yesterday. I watched the highlights earlier. Adam says the Premier League is what Florentino Perez envisions the Super League to be. And Welshwing says, Slot said after the game it was a pen. He also said that Mark Gay should have been a penalty as well for or maybe even a red card on Mark Gay as well. I think the point still stands that Liverpool have had a couple of decisions there go against us. But again, I'm not disappointed by the performance. This is the thing. A lot of dickheads. Do you know what? Again, the average man in the street. Do you know how stupid the average man in the street is? The average man in the street thinks this. Yeah, great. Let's ask the average man in the street. The average man in the street thinks Slot should be sacked. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's smart. Let's do that then. But thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Cecil says, do you reckon Salah will go at the end of the season? I mean, one can only hope. One can only hope. Ben says, Key, Liverpool deserved to lose. We were awful. What a poor performance. What are you on about? We were awful. In what world were we awful? How were we awful? I don't know what people are expecting. Did you not see the team sheets? Do you not see what we're working? I'm sure people still think this is like peak Arne Slot, peak Jurgen Klopp. Like it's not. It's a completely different side. Like we don't have what they have. It's knives to a gunfight. Like that's a foul, referee. We're off and underway here at the Mestalla, by the way, and it is a foul. Heisen bringing down Duro, I think. Hugo Duro. We'll go through the lineups here now, by the way. Kylian Mbappe losing the ball. Overhit the pass back to Heisen. But here we go. Valencia, Real Madrid. And it is Stoll, Dimitrievski in goal. Nunes, Comert, Copet and Gaia at the back. Then it's Rioja, Pepelu, Ugrinic and Danjuma. Arno Danjuma, ex-Everton, ex-Bournemouth, ex-Spurs in midfield. And then Hugo Duro and Fran Beltran. Oh, sorry, Lucas Beltran. Lucas Beltran. I didn't even know he'd signed for Valencia. Oh, he came in from Fiorentina, didn't he? On loan from Fiorentina. And then for Real Madrid, it is Courtois in goal, Carreras, Heisen, Asensio and Jimenez at the back, Tchouameni, Valverde, Camavinga, and then Garcia, Gula and Mbappe. Front three. Welshwing, do you think Slot walks if Liverpool finish 6th, Key? I wouldn't want him to. Whether he walks or not, I don't think he should, but maybe he will. I don't know. I think he's taken a lot of, like I said, he's taken the bullets in public for the failings of Liverpool's board. He's taken the failings. He's taken the bullet for the failings of the club that he's not responsible for. Now, no one's saying that he's blameless, by the way. Nobody for 1 second would sit there and say that Arne Slot has done nothing wrong, has made no mistakes and whatever. But I think the argument that that Liverpool somehow get magically better overnight by sacking the manager it's not only ludicrous, it's dangerous, actually. And it's coming from people who should know better or do know better and don't care. And I don't know which it is. I don't know which it is with a lot of these big fan channels. I don't know if they're stupid or they don't really give a shit. Maybe they don't support Liverpool. I don't know. But I genuinely think anyone who wants Arne Slot sacked now is either stupid or toxic. It's one of the two. You're either stupid or toxic. That's it. There's nobody who wants him sacked right now. That wouldn't be Trent Alexander-Arnold looking miserable on the bench for Real Madrid, would it? Tom says City team weren't even that good. What are you on about? City team weren't even that good. Behave yourself. City team was exceptional. Kieran Ballard says, do you think Slot remains in charge even if you don't qualify for the Champions League? I don't think he will, no, but I think he should. Like, for me, if we finish 7th, I'd still want him in charge. I don't think there's a manager... Personally, I think we've sold him down the river. I think the club have sold him down the river a little bit this season. They've not given him the tools to do the job. Yeah, we've not given him the tools to do the job. We spent less than all our rivals. You can't spend less than all your rivals, change 40% of the team, spend less than all your rivals, and still expect to be in a title race. It doesn't work like that. You can't send all of your title winners away and, your big title winners, you lose. I mean, that's it, forgetting the whole Diogo Jota thing, but you can't lose so many title winners and replace them with kids, spend less than all of your rivals, and still expect to be in a title race. You're just not going to do it, are you? If you spend less than Arsenal, less than City, you're not going to be in a title race with them. It's inevitable. Schweib says, watch that red against Liverpool, both tackle each other. Makes no sense to give a red. I agree. I don't think anybody wants that to be a red card, do they? Elliot, Liverpool have spent more than anyone. Yeah, again, we haven't. Google's free, lads. Google's free. It's a free resource. You can go and check it out. Arsenal spent more than us. City spent more than us. We're not doing this again. We do this. We seem to be doing this every live with Arsenal fans who can't just check Google. It's really simple. Just check Google. You've spent more than us. Snap meme. How's it going? Finners Matty, that result for me isn't on the players or Slot. I think it's on the ref. What on earth is the ref doing giving that red? I don't care if the laws of the game. Craig Pawson should never ref Liverpool again. The thing is, though, the red card doesn't change the direction of the game, mate. It's a stupid red card. But that doesn't change the fact that it's 2-1. Like, it should have been 3-1. I'd have rather it finished 3-1. That's fine. I don't think he should have sent him off, and it's maybe symptomatic of Craig Pawson. But I don't think it's a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's really not a penalty. You're never getting a penalty for that in any other game. But Craig Pawson, he doesn't like Scousers. There you go. Shell knows it. Hey, Craig Pawson, he doesn't like us Scousers. And that's from an Everton fan. He's always had an issue with Everton. He does the same with Liverpool every time. I think it's just the city of Liverpool he doesn't like because he always does it. Elliot, you're telling me Arsenal spent more than Liverpool in the summer. Did I stutter? Did I mumble? I'll say it again. Yes, Arsenal spent more than Liverpool in the summer. City spent more than Liverpool. Yes, they've spent more than Liverpool. You can't spend less than your rivals consistently, which we have, and expect to be in a title race. You can't sell your title winners and expect to be in a title race if you replace them with kids. It's irrelevant. Welsh Wing says, Sobersley was horrid today. Played Bernardo Silva onside and got himself a red card when there was no way of saving the ball. Alisson Bozo moments too. But again, that's not on Slot, is it? Like, at the end of the day, if your goalkeeper is coming out and I don't think it was a penalty, but maybe you could argue it was a bit rash and he comes out when he doesn't need to. It's the same sort of thing with Kanate in the Leeds games. Remember when Kanate tackled Nonto? Like, the ball's going out of play. The referee shouldn't be giving a penalty there, but he gives the penalty. It's not a penalty. Talking Reds, we are behind Villa. So what's the issue with being behind Villa? Finners Matty, I don't think it was a pen either. I think Gay should have had a red card. We should have also had a pen, if not two. Not sure about two pens, but like I said, I think if you look at bottom line, the argument that Arne Slot is somehow responsible for this is nonsense when Ekatike misses a sitter. Salah, I don't know what Salah's doing, to be honest. Salah was just shocking all night. Alisson, you could say, was a little bit rash, gave the referee a decision to make. But I think Salah was pulled back in the first half. Certainly that's a 50-50 decision. And then maybe you could argue it's either a penalty or it's a red card on Mark Gay as well. But again, these things don't go for you. I don't think you look at the manager. It just didn't go for us. For 80 minutes, we were in charge of that game. We were 1-0 in front. City get a bit of a lucky break, and Bernardo Silva scores to get them back level. And a point, I wouldn't have been disappointed with a point. Not that you'd have been disappointed with... If the team who maybe goes on and wins the title this season, you get a point off them at home, it's not the end of the world, that. It's not the end of the world. You can accept a point against City, can't you? Welsh Wing says, so every ball is deemed out of play. We can whack them and say, no, not a foul, the ball is going out. Highly disagree there, mate, but each to their own. But that's you being dramatic, isn't it? I didn't say that. What you've done there, mate, is took it to the absolute extreme that we can just whack players. We can just boot players up in the air. Come on, mate, you're not a 14-year-old. You're better than that. You're better than that. Nobody's saying you can just boot players up in the air because they're on the edge of the ball. At the end of the day, if the ball is going out of play, it's basically already out of play. What advantage has been gained? It's a collision between two players, both of whom are going for the ball. There's not a foul been... Has Alisson colliding into that player prevented him reaching the ball? That's the meaningful discussion that needs to be had. If Alisson has prevented that player from getting to the ball, then fine, you give a penalty. But he hasn't. Did Kanate tackling Nonto prevent him getting to that ball? No. The ball was basically out. But he gave a penalty. This is the type of refereeing that I don't like, and it's nothing to do with Liverpool. I would argue for it if it was Everton, if it was Man United. It's ridiculous. Daniel says, we see pens given for keepers diving for the ball, missing and getting the player's foot with his hand. Alisson just pure bodied him. I know, but there's no advantage gained by it. Like, you're just removing all physical contact from the game. Pure baseline, I hate Liverpool and I don't think it was a pen, not going to lie. Strike. Oh, Real Madrid unlucky. Strike from the edge of the box from Valverde, just wide. Ian said, lad, what was going on today? What do you mean? Do you not think it was a decent performance up to the penalty? I just think a lot of Liverpool fans and a lot of football fans in general, to be honest, can't distinguish between a bad result and a bad performance. There's winning and playing poorly, but winning and playing poorly, people don't talk about, well, it was a good result, so we move on very quickly. Sometimes you lose and play well. Sometimes you draw and play well. Sometimes you draw and play badly. I think tonight was an example of Liverpool playing at least well enough to get a draw, but we lost. That can happen against good sides. That can happen. You take that one on the chin and you move on. Willie says, do you think Salah's had too much playing time? I think so, yeah. Salah, I don't think Salah, we've got to have a conversation about Salah at some point. For me, Salah needs to be taken out the side. I genuinely, everything about his performance, not just his performance tonight actually, but his performance pretty much every single game since he's come back from the AFCON, has been diabolical. I don't see one positive thing that the guy has done. He's consistently caught in play, caught in possession. He's consistently making the wrong decisions that he wasn't making last season. And there's been out of form, and I get all that, and I think we've given him a lot of opportunity to play through that form. We've got to accept he's been pretty poor now for about 4 months. Pretty poor. Daniel says, I don't think a hand touching the foot is enough for a pen, but if they're given, then that has to be given. I don't think so. Again, maybe that's me wanting a higher standard for penalties, for red cards. I think it's just given every single time you're giving penalties for nonsense, for absolute nonsense. I don't think that's a penalty. Finis says Szoboszlai should be our one and only free kick. Well, yeah, the whole Mo Salah thing with the free kick was laughable, wasn't it? Hey up, Mick, how's it going? Ian says, it was a crazy game, but today I thought our midfield was passive up until the goal. The thing is, it is going to be with look who we've got in midfield. And to be fair, you say passive. We had one less player in midfield, didn't we? We was playing with 2 in midfield. Wirtz was a little bit further forward. They had Bernardo Silva, O'Reilly and Rodri up against McAllister and Gravenberch, so we were outnumbered pretty much in every midfield duel. And that's why I think they dominated in the first half. And what happened in the second, you could see it quite clearly. Wirtz dropped a little bit deeper. He started getting involved basically around the halfway line, and we started getting our foot on the ball a touch more. We never did that in the first half. It's another corner. Valencia have started quite well here, Valencia have started very, very well. McAllister was jogging about like he was on post-roast dinner jog. McAllister is one we need to get shut off. McAllister is... Forget Mo Salah. Honestly, forget Mo Salah. Alexis McAllister is amongst the worst drop-offs I have ever seen from a footballer. Not even amongst. I'd go as far as saying it's the worst drop-off. Oh, claim for the penalty. He says no. Valencia, claim for the penalty. The Real Madrid get it away. Yeah, that's Alexis McAllister has gone from playing like he was world class last year to playing like a pub player this year. Been absolutely shocking. Gravenberch and McAllister need to go. I don't think Gravenberch does. There's nothing wrong with Gravenberch per se. I just think he needs someone you can actually rotate him with. Like Gravenberch has had good games this season. He's played well at times, but he looks knackered, and it's no surprise because he's being expected to play 90 minutes every single week. Alexis McAllister, I don't think he's had one good game all season against Real Madrid, funnily enough. The team that he'll be shagging this summer, probably. CSGG Games. Why didn't Wirtz play? He did, mate. Yeah, he played 90 minutes today, Wirtz. Yeah. Finners Matty says Donnarumma was brilliant, though, to be fair. He kept City in the game in the second half. And he made one save, though, didn't he? What was the other save that he made? I don't remember him making any other save. Ekatike should have put it past him. Again, we're talking about individual errors in the game. Like, it's... Ekatike misses a sitter. Alisson maybe flies out and gives the referee a decision to make. Szoboszlai, who isn't a right back, and we can't really blame him too much, he pushes up and plays Bernardo Silva onside. But I think you're being picky at that point. You can't really blame the guy for that. And I don't think you can blame Slot for that. Sometimes you just concede goals against a good side, and they are a good side. They're a very good side that maybe probably go on and win the title this year. Gamer Guru says, with Frimpong fit, you would have done the job in that game, I think. Do you know what I mean? Imagine where Liverpool would be if we'd had Frimpong and Isak fit for even just most of the season. Just those two. Just those two. Frimpong and Isak, most of the season fit. I think it's probably reasonable to say we'd be 4 or 5 points further on. We'd have picked up some more points, wouldn't we? But hey, such is life. Que sera, sera. Sam, how's it going? Good to see you, Sam. Ian says Gravenberch would be a better 8 with a proper 6 behind him. He you could make that argument about a few players we've got at the minute in terms of the players around them. But I just think it's a massive summer for us again. We've got to go and spend big. And when I say big, I mean bigger than our rivals. Like, we can't just be spending break even with what Arsenal and City are doing. We spent less than what Arsenal and City did last year. We need to be spending more than them because we've got more work to do. We've lost a lot of players. They are basically maintaining. So they're trying to keep hold of the best players. We've got to go and acquire some new players. That's going to take us another year. I don't think we can expect reasonably to be in a title race next season either, unless we're ready to commit to signing ready now players. And we're not. We're signing, for the most part, kids. It feels like Liverpool are signing players who can grow and mature together. You know, your Kirkeses, your Verts, your Ekatikis, your Leonis, now your Jacques, your Mamadashvilis. These are the players who are all quite young and they're going to take a few years to adapt and grow. So we're not signing 27-year-olds. We're not going for those players anymore that Arsenal and City are. Ian says, can't believe we came out of January without signing a defender. Yeah, I mean, that would have helped. But again, that's typical FSG for you, isn't it? That is a standard Liverpool ownership move. We don't buy in a market where there's no value. Gamer Guru, you bought Vert and Isak made big buys compared to what the other teams got in. Okay, but one of them's out injured for the season and one of them's 21. Is there any? Why does the size of the transfer make a difference if those players aren't available or aren't immediately ready? I think the immediacy of availability is far more relevant. You know, if you go and sign an Eze, a Zubamendi, a Gyökeres, who are all 26, 27, and you can put them straight in the side and he can play immediately and they're available all season, that is a completely different look to spending basically the same amount of money on Isak and Ekatike or Isak and Verts. You know, it's a completely different look and feel to it. Especially when Isak's been out all season. Sam says, I see you're rooting for Valencia. Absolutely, yeah. Matty, will Isak actually come good, though? He's probably, if you're naming the top 5 strikers in Europe, I don't think you'd get away with not naming Isak, would you? I don't think there's any doubt about Isak's ability, is there, if he's on the pitch? If he's on the pitch and he's fit, there's no real doubt about his ability. He came back in, and as soon as he started playing, he was scoring match winners for us. He scored a winner against West Ham, scored the winner against Spurs, obviously broke his leg in that game, hasn't been seen since. That's the Isak that we know and we'll see, I think, going forward, but we need to get him fit and maybe we'll only see that now next season. Kyle Scott, where are you from? That's a weird comment. Seems a bit creepy, that, mate. What's it to you? Happy to tell you, like, but what's it to you? Why do you want to know? Gamer Guru says Vert should be playing better for the price tag. I mean, he's probably going to get Player of the Month this month, like for January. Probably going to get Player of the Month. Kyle says, cause you sound a mank but support Liverpool. No, I'm not a mank. I'm not from Manchester. I was born in a place called, well, I was born in Wiston, technically. It was an L postcode, but I was born and grew up in St Helens, basically. So just outside of Liverpool, about 20 minutes from Anfield. But just kind of in that little spot between Liverpool and Manchester. So there's a little bit of a Manc twang. AJ Gould says, I don't normally come on lives, but you said you're a lot with a better team for 80 minutes. I didn't say we were the better team for 80 minutes. Is this just you hearing what you want to hear? I didn't say we were the better team for 80 minutes. I said we played very well for 80 minutes. It was for 80 minutes, it was a thoroughly decent performance. And it was. In fact, I would say for the full game, pretty much, apart from one brain-dead moment, it was a thoroughly decent performance. One brain-dead moment from the goalkeeper / the referee, giving him a decision to make. I thought it was a pretty good game. Or a pretty decent performance. Madhouse says, Key, are you a rugby league fan then? No. You have to be a little bit with St Helens, but no, I'm not. Here's Mbappe, strike, straight at the keeper. Too easy, that one. Ferris Jordan says Isak will be amazing. You get rid of Salah and play a 2-striker with Ekatike. That's the best fit, probably. Yeah, I imagine that is what happens, to be honest. Creed says the colour of your shirt is absolutely disgraceful, Key. Gamer Guru, so when Everton finish above you, will you get the slot raised out for the... I'll tell you what, if Everton do, yeah, fine. Everton aren't finishing above us, Christ. Jay Sakini, whoever is Salah out isn't a real fan. Disrespecting legends isn't a Liverpool thing. What are you on about, disrespecting legends, mate? Come on. There's a point where a player is playing so poorly, and not only playing so poorly, but being arrogant and disrespectful himself with it. It ceases to be productive to have him in the team. Irrespective about what he's done before, what he's done for the club doesn't matter about whether or not he should be picked continuously. You don't get in the side. Should we just pick Gerrard then? Should Gerrard get in the team? Come on, mate. Gary says, I agree. I would take Wirtz, as would any club. Great player. Fabulous player. Mr. Nevermind. Liverpool have a history of disrespecting players. Do we? Oh, go on. Who have we disrespected previously? Daniel says, if you do play with Ekatike and Isak, does that mean you go to a diamond? I think so. I mean, I don't... It's difficult to say because Slot has continuously said he wants wingers, he wants wingers, he wants wingers. And we've ultimately got Rio Engamoa in. And I don't think we would have signed Rio Engamoa if the plan was never to play with wingers. But it makes such insane sense for us to play with a flat midfield. With a box midfield. If we played with a box 4, it's kind of similar to how Palace always have. You play with a box 4 midfield and you have 2 up front. It suits us down to the ground. Brendan, who would be the most supported team in St Helens? Mostly Liverpool or a mix of Liverpool, Everton and 2 Manc clubs. It's not really an awful lot of City fans. But yeah, it's Liverpool, Everton, maybe a few Mancs scattered around. The thing is, it's historical though, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, Liverpool and Manchester are both kind of port cities to a degree, and it was always that the people who worked in Manchester and in Liverpool used to settle in places like St Helens and Widnes and Warrington and round there. So generally speaking, those areas have got a mix of families and teams that support different clubs around them. But yeah, my dad supported Liverpool since 1972. That's when he went to his first game. So I was always going to support Liverpool. Mr. Nevermind, how many shirts have your fans burned? Isn't that a sign of disrespect, son? I've not burned any shirts. I don't think... I mean, listen, if you film yourself burning a shirt, I would say you've got severe mental problems and you need as much urgent help as possible. But I don't believe the Liverpool Supporters Club or anything official or any large body of players, anyway, have body of fans rather have ever burned a shirt. Here's Mbappe. Certainly nobody in my name, anyway. Strike, good effort, good save from Valencia. Nearly 1-0 Real Madrid. Tom says, sorry, buddy, but the standard slot set last season, we should be doing better. The standard slot set last season, we should be doing better. So if we'd played like this last year and we'd finished like 5th, let's say. Say we finished 5th, just argument's sake. And then next year we'd won the league. Slot would have literally been, oh, what an unbelievable manager, done really well to win it in his second year. Problem is, he's done the rebuild in his second year because he's had to. He's come in, pissed the league in his first year, and now he's doing the rebuild. This is the bit. This is the difficult bit that was always needed. This is the bit that Jurgen Klopp looked at and went, nah, I'm all right. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm all right. I've done the hard bit. I've won the, I've done the bit winning the leagues and all that. I'm not doing any more. I'm not rebuilding it and going again. No chance. You're all right. Losing to this City team isn't acceptable. Mate, the second in the fucking league. What are you talking about? Losing to this City team isn't acceptable. What are you talking about? The 6 points off the top of the league. The second. Like, I'm sure people look at football in a really linear way, don't they? Like, oh, City lost to Bodo Glimt, therefore City are not as good as Bodo Glimt. I can't really argue against that. City are a shit side because they lost to Bodo Glimt. There you go, Tom. There you go. You just confirmed. So a poor Spurs team drew to them. What a team. Yeah. Well, yeah. Because that's how we judge team based off one game. That's how we judge teams. Liverpool beat Arsenal, so Arsenal must be shit. We're basically champions, aren't we? We beat Real Madrid. Give us the trophy. Chelsea beat Barca. They must be amazing. It doesn't work like that, mate. It just doesn't work like that. Angry Gingy's dad, who do you support and where are you from? Luton and Kenya, mate. Gamer Guru says, if you're going for midfield signings, I'd put Zubi over Verts. Heck, I'd put Eze over Verts. Eze over Verts? And you're not even playing Eze? Eze can't get off the bench. And Zubimendi's a different player to Verts. That's like saying I wish we'd signed Hincapié instead of, I don't know, Ekatike. Completely different. Twisted Fate says United battered City, but we got told it was a manager bounce and City a bad key. No, City were out of form. I said City were out of form. Again, this is, you're picking them all. You're picking your words. Picking and choosing which words you want to. This is all you suiting your narrative. Or maybe you just hear what you want to hear. I don't know. Jaden, bet you wish you did have Hincapié. Oh, massively, yeah. Massively. Maddow says Chelsea beat PSG, they're world chumps. Gamer Guru says Wirtz did nothing for how many games? Yeah, because he's 21, mate. He's 21, he's a baby, he's a kid. If you bring kids into a Premier League, they always take time. Nearly always. If a player comes into the Premier League who's like 21, 22 and adapts like bang, they are the anomaly. The general rule is that when a young player comes into the Prem, they take a bit of time to adapt. Reggie says, fucking hell, can't wait for Man U to get humbled. They got all excited because they won a few games. They've won a few games, they're all excited. West Ham will burst the bubble in midweek. Twisted Fate says, I'm not saying you, I'm saying what the general consensus was with rivals. Oh, well, okay, so as long as you're not putting that question to me, that's fine. I'll take that then. If you're not putting that question to me, that's fair enough. Hope Carrick gets the job because a full season they ain't finishing above 8th. They'll do the same thing they did with Carrick as they did with Solskjaer. We know it's coming, don't we? Reggie says that bloke needs a win against West Ham to finally cut his hair. He ain't cutting his hair. He's still going to have it there. HGTXV, do you think if we don't get Champions League, Slot should still stay in charge? For me, if it was my decision, if I had the sole decision-making ability on that, yes. I wouldn't sack Arne Slot if we finished 8th. Genuinely. However, obviously next season then it would be a massive, upturn required. But I think people are massively underplaying just how much shit that guy has had to deal with. And how he's basically been given a job and not been given the tools to do the job. He's been sent into a gunfight with a knife. That's basically what it is with Arne Slot. He's been sent into a gunfight with a knife. That's basically what he's needed. And he's not got it. HGTXV says 8th, come on man, where are your standards? Again, it's nothing to do with the manager. The reason Liverpool are where they are is nothing to do with the manager. I'm sick of reactionary Liverpool fans coming in and giving it shit about the manager when it's clearly nothing to do with the manager. It's nothing to do... No one's saying the manager's blameless, but it isn't the manager's fault. It isn't the manager's fault. A new manager coming... You're looking down the road at Carrick. That's what it is. A lot of these Liverpool fans, they're looking down the road, they're looking down the East Lancs at Carrick and going, oh, shiny, shiny. Look at that. New manager comes in and everything gets lifted. Yeah, it does for a little bit. Liam Rosenior's doing the same at Chelsea. Do you want to hire him? Do you want to hire Cat? If we could bring Gerrard in. We could bring Gerrard in to the end of the season, right? We'll bring him in and we'll do all right. We'll have a little surge in form, right? And then next season, we'll be in dead lumber because we'll have a fucking idiot in charge, basically. Rather than an actual proper Premier League winning manager who's gone through all this change before at Feyenoord and done really well and built a top side at Feyenoord and done the same thing. So you want a manager. Why would you gamble on a new manager coming in who's we've already got one that's won a Premier League. It's already proved he can do it over a league season. There's no manager available, not one, that looks like a better fit than Arne Slot. Not a single one. He'd inject some passion. Do you think the reason we lost today was passion? Do you think the lack of passion is the reason we lost today? Shut up, mate. Come on. Don't talk wet. You've had too much to drink, you. You've had too much to drink today. There's absolutely no way that a lack of passion was the reason Liverpool lost that game today. He'd inject some passion. Talk out your arse. Alonso exists. Yeah, is that the fella we beat earlier this season? Is it that Alonso? You know about that fella? He's just been canned at Real Madrid. Hey, and by the way, that guy's already turned us down once. He fucked Liverpool off when he was a player. He fucked us off as a manager earlier this season. And we've already beat him this season anyway. Why would you want Alonso? Why would anyone want Alonso? City will get Alonso. He's a manager for City. He'll go to City probably. Alex says bloke was given $500 million nuclear bomb. Never mind knife. Come on, man, he isn't good enough, lad. He was given less than the rivals. He was given less than, and he wasn't even given. He wasn't given it. Arsenal could spend that money. Arsenal spent more than us, and they could spend it on whatever they wanted. City could spend it on whatever they wanted. They spent more than us. Liverpool have chosen the signings for Arne Slot. They're not signings he would have made. If Arne Slot got given, there you go, mate. There's 500 million quid. You go and spend it on players you want, lad. He wouldn't have signed the players we signed. Do you think he'd have signed a load of kids? Do you think he'd have signed a load of kids who need a bit of work? Fuck off. He'd have gone and signed ready now 26, 27-year-old players. Your Ezes, your Zubamendis, your Gyökereses, your Mark Gayes, your Semenyos, players who can come straight in and get stuck in. Don't need much management, them. Just put them in the side. They'll go and do a job. We haven't got that. We've signed Ekatike, Wirtz, Kirkes, Leone, Jacque now, Christ. All the players that we've signed. The only ones we have signed that you could consider to be ready now, Frimpong and Isak, they've been out for the fucking season. They can't get on the pitch. It's nothing to do with the manager. Nothing to do with the manager. HETXV says we're sat joint 7th. Oh, so now you're just pointing it back to the league. I thought it was about passion 2 minutes ago. The minimum for this season was top 3. That's bare minimum. Yeah, well then, yeah, that's just silly. That's just silly. I think once the signings get broken legs and are out for most of the season, I think that changes a lot of things, to be honest. Reggie says, how much was Keith Andrews given and he lost his captain this summer? Your argument would hold water if Liverpool were further up the table, but they're not. Again, nobody's saying that we're doing well. Nobody's arguing that we're doing well. And I'm not saying that 6th is where Liverpool are. I still think we'll finish higher than 6th. We'll finish higher than 6th. But that's where we are at this moment in time, or 7th, wherever we are. We're not going to finish where we are right now. The league table frequently tells lies during the season. Creed. Hey, listen, we're not taking grief off a Preston fan, Creed. Shell has the game key. Bit flat, to be honest. There's not really an awful lot happening. Real Madrid probing down the right-hand side. It's going to be a corner for Madrid. Jaden says majority of it falls on Slot because the team is more than capable of 4th. Well, we might well finish 4th. We're 4 points off. What's the issue? We might well finish 4th. Leroy says, so if Isak was fit and healthy, you'd be fighting for the league. Well, if Isak was fit and healthy, we'd have more points on the board, wouldn't we? We'd probably be maybe we'd be where United are. Maybe we'd be 4 points further on. I think that's fair to say. Let's say we had Isak fit, right? And I think most would agree that Isak is probably in the top 5 strikers in Europe, right? If you add the top 5 striker in Europe into this Liverpool side, where would they be now? I think it's reasonable to say they'd be maybe 4 or 5 points further on. So if we're 4 or 5 points further on and Man United consider themselves to be in a title race, wouldn't be that bad a situation. Your standard is United. I think you're hearing what you want to hear, mate, now. I think you're hearing what you want to hear. If you're one of these dramatic Liverpool fans who are just desperate for Arne Slot out, I don't know if you just like drama in your life. I've no idea what goes on in your life, mate, but all I'll say is, if you're insistent that Arne Slot going would really change this Liverpool side, I think you're on a hide into nothing. You're on a hide into nothing. Daniel says when Isak was fit, he was doing nothing. What are you talking about? He scored a match winner for us against West Ham. He scored a match winner for us against Spurs. He scored the winner against Southampton in the Cup. Or the opening goal against Southampton in the Cup. The guy absolutely has contributed this season when he's been able to play, when he's been fit to start games. To be honest, he's not been fit to start games for maybe the first 3 months of the season. He had about maybe a 6 to 8 week period where he was playing bits and bobs, and then he broke his leg against Spurs. Twisted said, who said United are in a title race? Plenty. We've had loads of United fans in. Shea has said United are in a title race. Claim for a penalty for Valencia. Hit it. Oh, unlucky. Jonesy, do you think you'll struggle without your best player this season for the next 3 games? He's not missing the next 3 games. He only misses 1, Jonesy. Yeah, he only misses 1, mate. And I wouldn't even argue he was our best player this season, to be honest. Akira, of course, the bantering lad. No, you've not met Shea then. There's plenty of United fans who think they're going to chase down Arsenal and City at the top. I promise you, there's been plenty in our chat. HETXB is by far the best player this season. Well, yeah, I mean, I think Wirtz has been our best player for the last 2 or 3 months, maybe. Soberslai has been incredible at the start of the season, but he's made a few errors. And I think in part that's because he's been overplayed. We've got nobody else we can put in. So again, it's Arne Slot's fault, but we've literally got nobody else we can put in. The board left him with Joe Gomez as his third choice centre-back. Joe Gomez is his third choice centre-back. Didn't replace Luis Diaz. Just yeah. But apparently we can last with what we've got, yeah. Of course. Finn4447, Everton Europe. No, Everton won't get Europe. Happy to have that discussion at the end of the season. Everton won't get Europe. Not a chance. Jabba says, Carrick slot in, good lad. Shay says, I don't really believe we're in a title race. We ain't won 4 in a row for 2 years, Key. Let us get excited. So now you're not in a title race because you've been telling me for ages you're in a title race, and not with any sort of sarcasm. You've been very, 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 very eloquent actually in how you've put it across at times. Oh, Real Madrid edge of the box. Ball over to the left-hand side. Camavinga cleared away. Gary, if there was one player you could take, who would that be? Would you take Declan Rice? What, at Arsenal? If I had to pick one Arsenal player, yeah, Declan Rice at Arsenal. But if I could pick any player in the world, it wouldn't be Declan Rice. Daniel says, Isak broke his leg tail end of December, so 3 goals before then isn't great. Quality player, but he wasn't helping much. When did he start playing? When did he start playing? Like, when was his first start? How many starts did he have? Tell me how many 90 minutes Isak played. How many 90 minutes did he complete, mate, before he broke his leg? I bet it wasn't many. I bet it wasn't many. The guy very rarely was completing 90 minutes and being a big... Because he wasn't fit. He came to us not fit. We signed him literally back end of the window. And he wasn't fit. The Premier League season had started and Isak was still at Newcastle. So we only really got him in a situation where we could play him. I think off the bench was like... I think he played a bit in mid-September, and then it was the international break and he got a bit of an injury and he was out again, and then kind of a little bit here and there in October, and then he was just always kind of in and out. He never really got a run of games, to be honest. Warren says, with Klopp, this doesn't happen. I agree. Klopp didn't want to make the changes. Klopp did not want to make the changes. He was a coward. I'm tired. Shay says, I said this to you in the summer and you laughed at me saying, I hope you stick around during the season. I'm certain we'll finish above Liverpool. Okay, well, hey, maybe we'll see. We'll see. I don't think you finish above Liverpool. Not a chance. Half-time here at the Mestalla. Valencia 0, Real Madrid 0. It's been a very, very dull first half, I've got to say. The fact we've been spending most of the time talking about Arne Slot in or Arne Slot out tells you everything. It's been pretty dull and drab. Reggie, what Tuesday game are you doing, Kate? I'm doing West Ham against United on Tuesday, Liverpool, Sunderland Wednesday, Arsenal, Brentford Thursday. They are the 3 Premier League games we're doing next week. Monday, tomorrow, we're doing Sheffield United against Middlesbrough. And then Friday, what are we doing Friday? What are we doing Friday? Don't know what we're doing Friday, actually. Right, half-time in this one. Friday. Where are you? Hull Chelsea. Yeah, it's the FA Cup weekend, isn't it, next weekend? So we've got the midweek Premier League games, then it's the FA Cup next weekend. So Hull Chelsea Friday night, 7:45. And then it's the FA Cup next weekend. So Burton, West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool, Brighton on the Saturday. On the Sunday, we're doing Oxford, Sunderland, Arsenal, Wigan, Napoli, Roma. The goals. Predictions for the 4 trophies, bud. The 4 trophies. I think Arsenal for the league, City for the Carabao Cup, Barca for the Champions League. I don't know about the FA Cup. FA Cup feels like it could be another one where like a rogue side maybe really goes deep and wins it. Maybe someone like... I genuinely think Unai Emery's going to have a season at Villa where they capitulate in the league. As the year goes on, I think they'll fall away in the league and end up finishing maybe... Might even be lower than 5th, maybe 6th or 7th. It might be one of them years for them. But I think they go deep in the Europa League and they go deep in the FA Cup and maybe win one or both. Unai Emery, great cup manager. And I think he'll get a trophy for him this year. Wouldn't be a surprise if Palace win the Conference League as well. Assuming they kick on, they get a bit of a boost today. First win in 9. Well, this is the 10th game, and they've finally got a win. So 1 win in 10 now for Palace. Mackenzie, Liverpool have ruined Arsenal fans' hopes. Isn't it funny though? Like we was talking about this earlier. Isn't it funny that Liverpool's that Arsenal's hopes apparently the title was wrapped up if Liverpool won, but now we've ruined their hopes. Because of one game, 3 points. You know, basically, at 9 points, the title was wrapped up. It was gift wrapped. But at 6 points now, it's jeopardy. You know, if City beat Fulham on Wednesday night, Arsenal play Brentford on Thursday, maybe the gap gets cut to 4. Maybe it gets cut to 3. Who knows? Paul says, here's a quiz for you, Key. That'll get your mind off today for half hour. Name the last 6 English managers to win the Carabao or League Cup. Ooh. Good answer, good quiz that, Paul. The last 6 managers, English managers, to win the Carabao or League Cup. Okay, so Steve McLaren, 2006. Was Steve McLaren in charge of Borough then? Or would it have been Southgate? Oh, I think it was Steve McLaren. I'm going to say Steve McLaren, 2005, 6-ish. League Cup winners, Middlesbrough. So Steve McLaren, Eddie Howe, obviously, with Newcastle. Who else? Harry Redknapp. No. Would it have been Harry Redknapp? It might well have been Harry Redknapp, actually. Maybe it would have been Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp with Spurs. I don't know if that was. When they won at Spurs, was Harry Redknapp in charge? McLaren, right, okay, so we've got McLaren, we've got Eddie Howe, Harry Redknapp. I'm trying to think of who else would have won the League Cup? It's mostly been concentrated in the your cities and all them, to be honest. Roy Hodgson, Fulham didn't win it. I'm trying to think of the last teams that would have won the League Cup. What about Leicester? No, Leicester was Martin O'Neill, wasn't it? Oh, we're going back away now, aren't we? Connor, he won it with Portsmouth. Mark Hughes. Did Blackburn win the League Cup? Have I missed something? I feel like I've missed. Oh, of course, Steve Bruce, Birmingham. Yeah, Steve Bruce, Obafemi Martins, wasn't it? It's definitely Steve Bruce's Birmingham. That's a great shout. Oh, John Gregory. Did Villa win it? I don't think they did they? John Gregory. Was Glenn Hoddle Spurs manager when they beat Wolves in 2002? I mean, he probably was. I think he was about then. But I don't think Spurs won it then, did they? Villa won it in 94. Well, John Gregory wasn't manager in 94. 94 Villa manager would have been Brian Little, wouldn't it? Is it Brian Little? Would it have been Brian Little then? Reggie says, surely that's all the 2000s plus ones. Bruce, no. Oh, it was Alex McLeish. It wasn't even Steve Bruce. It was Alex McLeish for the Birmingham one, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Alex McLeish was manager of that Birmingham side. Is it Brian Little? Wigan was Martinez. That was FA Cup. That wasn't the Carabao. That was the FA Cup. Yeah, it was. He didn't say the FA Cup, did he? I think he just said the Carabao, didn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Paul just said the Carabao. Am I right in saying that, Paul? Surely. Yeah, the Carabao the League Cup. Yeah, so Brian Little's right. Okay, Brian Little's right. Good. Brian Little with Aston Villa. It's a bloody good question. That I'm struggling now, to be honest. So yeah, Brian Little, Harry Redknapp, Eddie Howe, Steve McLaren. I don't know. I think I'm bang out of answers at this point, to be honest, mate. I think you beat me there. HGTXV says Anfield has lost its fear factor. Teams used to be beaten in the tunnel, now they fancy themselves. You just can't argue with stupid. Roy Evans, yeah. Roy Evans, Coca-Cola Cup with Liverpool, of course. Brian Clough, Juan de Ramos. Jabba, Key's struggling just like his club. Get out of town. Where's the Liverpool shirt, Key? I've got lots of Liverpool shirts. I've got one behind me here. There you go. Oh no, it's not that side. Is it that side? Where is it? Where is the Liverpool shirt? It's down there. Hey, I've got plenty. I'll show one for you. I'll show one at random because I've got an absolute raft of them over here. But here's one of my favourites. Here's one of my favourites. The old classic Torres Gerrard era. But yeah, no, it's because we're watching Valencia. We're watching Valencia tonight, mate. So I'm watching. I thought I'd put my Valencia shirt on. Valencia, Real Madrid. Why not? For a giggle. Good man. Do us a favour and chuck it in the bin. On your bike. What are we saying? Sorry. JB, what was the Liverpool score? It was 2-1, mate. Yeah. It was Liverpool 1, City 2. Gamer Guru Key was up so high and he's so down low after the game. It's football for you, isn't it? It's the highs and the lows. How far back are we going for these, Paul? Andy says, Key, who do you think gets all the European slots? City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Villa. After that, again, you could flip a coin. Maybe Newcastle, possibly Newcastle. It's going to be difficult. It's tough. It's a good season, kind of. If you're a team that's like just outside, like if you're in and around the top half, like I'm sure Everton will think they've got a chance of Europe. Fulham will think they've got a chance of Europe. You know, Palace will think they've got a chance of Europe, whether it's by winning the Conference League or even by the league. Bournemouth will think they've got a chance of Europe, even they've just gone 13 games without a win. Brighton finished 5 points off a Champions League place last year. They have one win in 12 now, and they are still not that far away from it. So, you know, Brentford, Sunderland, these are teams that will all fancy the chances, and it feels like you only have to go on a couple of wins. Fans are very fickle. Football fans are incredibly fickle. We've seen that with United in the past week, haven't we, to be honest? We've seen that with Arsenal fans today. All of a sudden, it's gone from the titles wrapped up to, we've got to win against Brentford. We've got to win against Brentford. The pressure's on. We're going to... There's always that little bit of a change, and United fans have won a few games and are already thinking they're in for a title charge. Nice quiz. Got any more, Paul? Ron Atkinson, yes. Connor got them, the Google kid. Hey! Everton could genuinely get Europe. Not with their home form. No, not with the home form. The away form is actually really good. Obviously, beating Fulham and then beating Aston Villa at Villa Park. They've on the road, they don't concede many, Everton. That's the big win for them. They're really defensively solid away from home, and Moyes' tactics seem to work well away from home. But at home, where the emphasis is on them and they have to take the game to teams, they really struggle, and they have struggled at home all season. I think it's 1 win in 7 they've got at Hill Dickinson. Lou says, lad, that third goal and red card was mad. Standard for that referee, innit, mate? You know what it's like with Craig Pawson. Paul said Eddie Howe, McLaren 2004, Little 96, Evans 95, Atkinson's 94, and Cloughie 90. Lovely. Good quiz, that, mate. Twisted Fate says, not going to lie, I've heard many rivals say we are playing the best football in the league under Carrick. I'm more inclined to believe the unbiased opinion. The unbiased opinion? But they're rivals. You've just said they're rivals. They're unbiased, but they're rivals. So how are you quantifying bias? Or that there's no bias? Seems like it's a little bit of a conflicting statement, that, to be fair. Jabba says Craig Pawson is the devil himself. Well, he doesn't like reffing in Liverpool, does he? Will Forever says, wow, Juventus Lazio, not what I was expecting. They're losing 2-0 down at home. Juventus all over the place, aren't they, to be honest, at the minute? Yeah. Still fancy Como maybe to sneak a European spot in Serie A. Como playing quite well at the minute. Be interested to see how Roma get on as well. Gasparini's they've been a little bit up and down as well. Really just hoping Fiorentina pull through. Twisted Fate says, well, if they wanted to be biased as rivals, they would be like you and say we are shite. Well, no, hang on a minute. Why would they say that you're shite? That would, if you're saying they're not biased, but they're rivals. You're taking the view and opinions of rivals and saying they're not biased. That doesn't make sense. Why are they not just stupid opinions? Who they support is irrelevant, isn't it, really? Maybe it's just opinions that you like. Maybe it's that. Maybe you've heard an opinion that you like the sound of, and therefore you're going, oh, well, and who do you support? You're a rival, and you're saying that. Well, that confirms my bias. I'll take that. That confirms my bias. Generally speaking, if you're looking for something, you'll find it. Same with stats. People who use stats to prove things in football are fucking numpties. These are people who'll show you things and say, well, this is this because of this, this, and this. And you know that they've already got a narrative they're trying to prove. Sam, take it easy. Right, I'm off. Good watch along. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, Sam. See you soon. Fatima, good to see you. Connor says, what a free kick by Szoboszlai, though. Yeah, great goal. Fabulous goal. Great finish. He's done it before. Probably would have had a decent chance of doing it in the first half, or in the first half, sorry, in the first free kick where Mo Salah takes it off him. Jabba, I'm biased, up the toffees. Is right. Good lad. Raymond, are you a Valencia fan too, or just anti-Madrid? I think I'm more anti-Madrid than I am a Valencia fan. But I like Valencia. Yeah, I like Valencia. I like the kit, and I like, to be honest, I loved the Valencia side that played in this kit. With Ruben Baraja, Mister, Ayala, Mendieta, Aymar, unbelievable group of players. Vicente as well. Do you remember Vicente? What a player he was. And later they had like Joaquin and players like that. Valencia had always been a great side to watch. Men's Mind. Keep dissing Arsenal, but keep your eyes on your team. Dissing, Reese? Really? Dissing? Are you a part-time TikToker, part-time gangster rapper? Privileged to have you in, mate, straight from P. Diddy's mansion. Joe says, Key, I reckon your back garden could hold up with this rain more than the Gateshead Stadium. My back garden? What are you doing in my back garden again? You're wronging. Right, we're off for the second half here. Come on, Real Madrid. Collapse. Fold. Connor says, Key got a diss track coming out against Arsenal. Dissing, I know. These sad sacks. Dissing. Allow it, bruv. Allow it. Prepare for takeoff. Key, you think Arsenal are winning the Prem now, right? I think Arsenal... I've said Arsenal are going to win the Prem all season. Well, maybe not. That's not true, to be fair. I thought City up until maybe just before Christmas, about November time. But yeah, since then, I've been at Arsenal the best team in the world and will win it. Yeah. Don't think anyone would pretend otherwise. But it's interesting that tonight, all of a sudden, people are losing their heads over one game. And it's the same. I'd apply that same logic to any other team, to be honest. Football fans are just incredibly reactionary over one game. One thing, one game, and they just want... they just say and react. Feels like we've not really got any sort of balance in football anymore. There's no balance at all. Everyone's got the bloody emotions of a 13-year-old girl, it seems like. Crying and whinging and bitching and moaning. Standards are on the floor. Just grow up, you sad sack. Offline, how can you talk, man? Very easy. Motor skills, just fine motor skills, just learned over the years and just picked it up. You'll pick it up, mate, in time. Freddie, didn't watch the last minutes. Did you win 1-0? No, we lost 2-1 in the end. It was a Bernardo Silva goal and then a Haaland penalty in about 90. Was it 90 plus 3, 90 plus 4? 90 plus 4. Haaland penalty late on, won it, yeah. Offline, you rage bait kids online for a living. No, 18 plus on YouTube, Chief. 18 plus on YouTube. Got to have an account. Verified. It's only on TikTok, and to be honest, I don't even come on TikTok that often. Very rarely on TikTok. Twisted Fate says, be more likely that Key brings out a diss track about Arsenal fans dissing him for dissing Arsenal. May call it a dissing the diss track. Gamer Guru says, if I remember, you said Gyökeres is on the floor, and so are the standards. They are. Style of play is shocking, innit? Shell says TikTok sounds a nightmare. It's just one of them things. I'm seeing if it's a necessary evil or not. Might not be. It's a bit of a pain in the arse. Again, it's mostly 12-year-olds. Get the occasional half-decent person who comes on there, and then they usually gravitate over to YouTube where grown-ups hang out. But yeah, it's mostly 12-year-olds on TikTok. Skibid, I know a bit of you is happy that Liverpool lost. Never ever happy that Liverpool lost. Paul says City will catch Arsenal after today. Big last 15 minutes for us today that will have the booing lot, the boring lot flapping. Well, yeah, I mean, this is it. They've got form for it, haven't they? They've got form for it, and there's every chance that they do bottle it again. They've bottled it before. They'll bottle it again, maybe. Who knows? But I don't think they will, mate. I know you're a City fan, and there's every chance City could, but I think it relies heavily on City putting the pressure on them, and I don't think you will. If City put the pressure on them, I probably do agree, actually. If City can win games like that and win 3, 4, 5 in a row and put a run together, genuinely think you'll be in front of Arsenal. Because Arsenal won't win 4 or 5 in a row. They'll drop points somewhere along the way. We've already seen that somewhere quite a bit. And they've still got to go to the Etihad, of course. So that's going to be a big one. As long as you can stay within touching distance of them, there's every chance. But I think the bigger issue is not necessarily... it's not necessarily Arsenal. It's more that Arsenal will drop points. It's that City won't do what they need to put the pressure on them. If you do, then yeah, you probably do win it. Callum says what? And City won't drop points. Yeah, I've just said that. Yeah, City will drop points. That's why I said I don't think they'll win it. I think Arsenal win it. Arsenal win it. Clarky, and you call Alisson the best goalkeeper in the world. How did he do today? He did all right for the most part. Obviously, he made a mistake. But yeah, he did all right for the most part. Don't think he had a chance, really, with the Bernardo Silva goal. But he definitely gave the referee a decision to make, I guess, for the penalty. I don't think it was a penalty. It was very, very soft. But I think he maybe made a mistake in coming out. Andy says we play Arsenal next month. Hey, well, maybe Everton will. Maybe Everton will get a result against them. Paul says got a few players coming back from injury as well. Yeah, well, I was going to say you definitely need to have Diaz coming back in, and is Gvardiol back before the end of the season? Maybe Stones as well. I think these are going to be big, important players coming back for City, but it's whether or not that just spurs you into a real consistent run of form. Reggie, did you hear about the duck that walked into the Wetherspoons in St Helens, Key? Go on, what did he say? Quackers? Was he Quackers? 3 Star says, just told me mum about Premier Sport, going out on her account watching football with an ice pack on my eye is not ideal. Ben says, evening Key, do you think we get Champions League football for next season, mate? What an original question that I've not been asked 94 times in the first 50 minutes of this game. Yes, mate, I still think we get Champions League football this season. Heaven forbid what you think, though. I think I can guess what Ben might think. Reggie says, yeah, he had a pint of Madrid, told the bartender to put it on his bill. Hey, good lad. Good lad. Techie talk, I'm a United fan. I really don't want Arsenal to win, so please get it done. You don't want Arsenal to win, so you want City to win. And that's from a United fan. That's an interesting viewpoint. That's a very interesting viewpoint. See, if it was a straight shot now between Arsenal or Man United to win the league, I would be cheering Arsenal every single day of the week. Every single day of the week, I'd want Arsenal to win. He was the local quackers. Foxy says, do you see Mamardashvili being the long-term replacement for Alisson, or do you end up buying another one, another first-choice keeper once Alisson leaves? Yeah, Mamardashvili at £40 million is definitely the long-term replacement for Alisson. He's done well when he's come in. Been quite impressed with him, to be honest. I just don't think he's ready to come in. Well, it's not that he's not ready. Alisson's the best keeper in the world. I don't think you're not gonna take him out for Mamardashvili. If as long as Alisson's here and he's playing and he's fit, I think he's actually saved us a number of times, to be honest. Twisted Fate, I would rather Arsenal won over City. I'm from Manchester, don't want to see no parade in my city. Solo, every fan base has bad and good. Absolutely agreed, yeah. Absolutely agreed. Techie Talk says, I can't stand Arsenal's fan base. To be honest, mate, I honestly don't think you can necessarily look at one fan base and say, because every fan group has the same. Like, as a Liverpool fan, there's plenty of numpties who follow us. There's plenty of numpties who follow United. There's plenty of numpties who follow Everton. It's not exclusive to one fan club or one football club. It is just what it is. There's dickheads and there's not dickheads. Joel says there'll only be like 5 people at the parade, though, Twisted. Jerry, why are you not wearing your Liverpool shirt? I very rarely do wear Liverpool shirts, to be honest. I'm only wearing this because we're watching a bit of Valencia Real Madrid. So, yeah, I just thought I'd wear me retro Valencia top. Deet, how'd yous go today, La? We lost, mate. We lost 2-1. Yeah, got beat. Haaland scored a penalty late on. So he scored first. It was Soboslai scored a free kick first, and then Bernardo Silva equaliser, and then Haaland penalty. I think it was about 93, 94th minute, something like that. Reggie says you must have seen about 50 in the past decade. Twisted. Rohale, City dominated. City dominated in Courtois is the best keeper in the world, in my opinion. City dominated. City dominated today. Do you think? I don't think so. Ekatike missed an absolute sitter. I don't recall City having too many chances. to be honest. The first half, they had maybe more of the ball, but they didn't really do anything with it. There was one chance where Kirkes sort of snatched the ball off Haaland, and that was like first 5 minutes. Other than that, they didn't really do anything. M15 says, what a free kick, by the way. Tell you what, he can strike a ball. He can. Dominic Szoboszlai, he can definitely strike a ball. Hence is still live. What a goat. Just trying to stick at it, mate. Assassinated Beauty. I don't reckon this fella watched football pre-2020. Why are you talking about me in the third person, you coward? You coward. So I'm here. I'm right here. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Type it back out again. Just type it out and say, I don't reckon you watched football pre-2020, or you're just uncomfortable with confrontation. You're not able to have a conversation with someone unless it's nicey-nicey. Rohale says a free kick that good deserved a win. Hey, listen, sometimes it doesn't happen. When you play good teams like City, sometimes you drop points, and it's understandable. They're a good side. They might well go on and win the title. Joel Coughlin, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Gamer Guru, hell of a free kick, followed by one hell of a red card. What a tackle by Lazio. Is it an unbelievable game, the Lazio one? Maybe we've picked the wrong game. I don't know. Jabba, I don't reckon Key watched footy pre-1990. I'll admit that. You've caught me there. You've absolutely caught me there. I didn't watch footy pre-1990. I definitely got... You've caught me out. Guilty. Joel Smith says Liverpool might not thank me, but put the contract on the table and give Arne Slot whatever he wants. I agree, Joe. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Comedy Hub says, bet he was happy Liverpool lost. Again, another sad sack who can't have a confrontational conversation. Referring to me in the third person. I'm right here, Chief. You can talk to me. Just type it out again. Instead of saying, bet he was happy Liverpool lost, put, bet you was happy Liverpool lost. Yeah. People just can't have a... What is it with... Just, it's kids. Maybe it's just kids again. Kids. Gary Dorrington, Juve have scored. It's a good game, Key, says Shell. Nice. Andy says you've picked the wrong game. I tried to see if we'd get a good game today. We've got 60 minutes on the clock. It's still 0-0 at the Mestalla. It's been dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Adam says, I watched football in the 90s. I could barely see the ball. Why? Was you watching like a particularly foggy game? William Slane, where are you at in slot in or slot out? Just wanted to ask you that. Slot in. I don't know anyone who's slot out. Anyone who is slot out needs to get a grip of their life. They need to get a grip of their life. Ollie, I don't mind we lost. City got more chance of beating Arsenal to the title. No, I mind that we lost. You don't want to see your team lose. Nelly FedEx, Liverpool, worst defence of a Premier League title ever. Well, there you go, Neil Horwood, not a very intelligent man. I'm assuming this is your first year watching football, Neil. Perfectly fine, sorry. I apologise for saying not a very intelligent man. Maybe it's your first year watching football. If so, I apologise. Tobias Alonso in. Alonso in where? Ryan says Kangin Lee scored the 5th goal. Rohale says another thing that hurts is that Liverpool very, very rarely lose to Man City at Anfield. It's extremely rare. Exactly. So, sometimes it happens, but they're a good side. Adam, I watched Italian football in the 90s. There was too much flair. Oh, Adam. That's cheered me up, to be fair. Also 360p resolution. Twisted says Liverpool fans should be more annoyed it wasn't 3-1, to be honest, due to the red card. It's just frustrating, that, to be honest. That's more like a little bit of salt in the wound, because losing 2-1 to a late penalty is hard enough, but then also, you know, Szoboszlai gets sent off for no reason. It's the last minute. Like, it's kind of stupid, to be honest, from Szoboszlai even to attempt to pull him back. It was just pure frustration. But I don't think the referee should have sent him off. That's just where common sense comes in. But again, it's baffling to me. Absolutely baffling to me. Joel says Man City is scumbags. Liverpool should have won. Nah, City aren't scumbags, Joel. City are a very, very... Don't get it mixed up, the ownership and the 115 and all that stuff with the fans and the players and the team. They're a very, very good team. Clarkey, why didn't Erling Haaland get sent off? Because he didn't break the rules. Why would Erling Haaland have got sent off? He wasn't last man. He didn't prevent a goal-scoring opportunity. Rohill says, I've seen such things happen before, though. I remember when United beat City after the turnaround in the last few minutes, not all that long ago. Yeah. Nelly says, I've watched football since 82, fella, and trust me, this defence is embarrassing. Okay, well, hang on a minute. So you said it was the worst defence of a Premier League title ever. So is it worse than Man United in 2013 with David Moyes? Is it worse than Chelsea in, 2014? Whatever it was? And the same with Leicester. Was it worse than Leicester? Come on, mate. Come on. Been plenty. Factually, it's not even about subjective anymore. It's factually a lot. Nowhere near those title defences. But again, I assume you're either a United fan or an Arsenal fan or an Everton fan, and you've got a narrative to push. I don't expect you to reply to it, but that's usually what happens. Clarkey says Mark Gay should have got sent off. Well, possibly Clarkey, yeah. Possibly. Foxy says, favourite Valencia player from the era of the shirt you're wearing? Mendieta. Ruben Baraka was very good, and so was Ayala, but I think I quite like Canizares as well, to be honest. But yeah, it's a lot of this. I mean, this Valencia team are worlds away from the Valencia side that wore this shirt. They are desperate for at least a point tonight, and obviously a goal. They're a point outside the relegation zone. They are desperate for at least a point tonight. And they've done all right so far. 65 minutes in, I think they'd have taken 0-0 against Real Madrid. Real Madrid now, since the second half has happened, they're just probing. They're just it just feels like Valencia. It's just attack versus defence, if we're dead honest. It's just Arda Güler spreading the ball over to Hyson to Carreras inside. Oh, he's broke through. Oh, near post. How's that gone in, keeper? Oh, keeper, how have you let that go in? Carreras puts Madrid 1-0 in front. There you go. 1-0. 1-0. Oh, it was a great run, that. But I tell you what, he kind of bobbled through. And I think the Real Madrid defence hasn't really been tested tonight. But the Valencia goalkeeper, Dimitrevski, the North Macedonian, Stola Dimitrevski, will be very disappointed by that one. Really, really poor. And Valencia 0, Real Madrid 1 at the Mestalla. Ben Galloway. State of that profile picture, Ben. Worst boy band ever, that, Chief. Gen X Barnesman, hey up, lad. Unlucky for Liverpool tonight. Well, yeah, sometimes it happens, mate. It happens. Nelly says David Moyes didn't win a Premier League title. This Liverpool team didn't win a Premier League title, though. This Liverpool team didn't win a Premier League title. We've changed 40% of the squad. But again, a lot of people don't seem to care about that stuff. Ben says, no arguments or straight to the insults. Fair enough, mate. Respect it. It wasn't an insult. It just said you worst boy band ever. That's not really that much of an insult, is it? I mean, it is if you're a bit... I apologise, mate. Saying, I thought that was pretty tame. Worst boy band ever is not... it's not that bad. I'm sorry. I apologise. I thought that was just a bit of banter. That's light. That's what you'd get if you walked into the pub. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't mean to upset you. Didn't mean to upset you. LFC Jake says, hello, Key. How are you, my friend? I'm good. Good. How are you? Adam says Brentford v Arsenal is going to be epic. You heard it here first. Well, we're live for that one on Thursday. We're live for West Ham against United on Tuesday night. We've got Sheffield United v Borough tomorrow. Then we're doing West Ham United versus Man United on Tuesday night at the London Stadium. Then Wednesday we're doing Sunderland against Liverpool Stadium. A light. Thursday is Brentford Arsenal, and who did we say we've got on Friday again? Friday's Chelsea against Hull, isn't it, in the FA Cup? Gary Nugent, if you were a proper Liverpool fan, you wouldn't be wearing any other jersey. Okay. All right. I guess I'm not a proper Liverpool fan then. LFC Jake says, I'm not happy, you would imagine, because Liverpool lost. That ref is a joke. I didn't think there was any issue really with the performance today. No, I've said it a few times now. I really didn't think it was that much of a performance issue. I thought, if you're in the 80, well, if you're in the 90 odd minutes and it's like 1-1 at home to City, it's not really a result you can be too disappointed with. Both teams pretty much cancelled each other out. I thought we were the better team overall. I thought it was a thoroughly fair and decent performance from us. So I don't think we can really give the manager any stick for that, because you're playing against City and a penalty's won it. And a very dodgy, soft penalty has won it at the end of the day. Femi, how do you feel after you guys bottled the lead? I mean, it's the same way you do normally after your team bottles a lead. Yeah, a little bit gutted, to be honest, mate. Normally the way, though, isn't it? Gary says, I think City playing in the World Club Championship will take its toll, and City have been far more inconsistent than Arsenal. But it's not that much more inconsistent, because they're still only 6 points behind them. In spite of how bad City have been this season, still only 6 points. It's not insurmountable, is it? Adam, I've seen those penalties not given 1 million times. And Jeb says Liverpool was robbed of a pen. I mean, I think it should have been a red card on Gay, or maybe a penalty, depending on which way you want to look at it. But it was a clear pull back on Mo Salah when he's away. He was basically on the line of the penalty area. We've seen them given before, but they're not going to give it. They're not going to give it when it's Craig Pawson, the referee. Row Hale says it's not the ref. Refs are often infuriating, but create chances, score chances. The only ones you can rely on during the match is yourselves. Yeah, that's true. Femi, I watch all your YouTube clips. Who do you want to win it? Who do I want to win it? City, I want to win it, just because I think City play better football. That's all it is. But I think Arsenal will win it. Yeah. I expect Arsenal to win it, but I hope City win it. Oh, nearly 1-1 Valencia. Oh, so unlucky there. Beltran at the front post. It's a great ball in from the right-hand side. And should he do better there? It's a great ball in. It's kind of a stretch. He's on a bit of a lunge. Oh, it might have even clipped the post, that as well. Does it clip the post? Oh, it does. Courtois is absolutely stood still. Can't move. Fabulous effort from Beltran. It's off the post from Valencia. Adam says if Arteta was braver, Arsenal would be 15 points clear. True, they should have beat Liverpool. They should have beat Forest. Tiago says, why do you always blame refs when you bottle games? I didn't blame the ref. I didn't blame the ref. I'm not saying the reason that we've lost tonight is the referee. I don't think it was a penalty, but I don't think that's the reason we lost the game. Like I said, I think it's City, and sometimes you just lose. City are a good side, and it was a tight game. It was always going to be tight and cagey, and usually there's only one goal in these types of games, and that's what happened again. It was a late penalty. I think it was a very, very soft one. And I don't think Craig Pawson gave us much tonight, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm blaming him for the decision or for the result, because. But I'm not blaming Slot. It's not the manager's fault. Thomas Gray, there's another one who can't decipher a Scouse accent. This isn't a Scouse accent, mate. Yeah, this isn't a Scouse accent. Reggie says, horrible club, Madhouse. Never liked Lazio, mainly because of their fascist fans. See, that's interesting, because I didn't like Roma. I hated the Roma fans. And it wasn't necessarily anything to do... I'm sure there's some lovely Roma fans, but there was literal bottles and coins and cups of piss, I think, basically being thrown across the segregation at the Stadio Olimpico when we went there a few years ago for the semi-final. And yeah, that was grim. That was really grim. And obviously, you know, Rome in general is known for their stabby fans. LFC Jake, but that loss doesn't take away how good that Dom goal was for us. It was a good goal, yeah, it was a good goal, but again, you know, that doesn't move you further up the table, sadly. Coley says, did you see Keane on Sky saying LFC are bad champions? Clip's gone viral, lots of comments on it. Well, yeah, I mean, it is bad. We are bad champions if you just look at it as where we are in the table versus where we were. But I think the context is far more important, and I think if you spend less than your rivals, I think maybe he's having a criticism at not necessarily the team and the manager, more the club, and again the lack of investment and the lack of what a tackle that is, lack of investment. If you're consistently spending less than your rivals, you're gonna fall behind. If you spend less than Arsenal, you spend less than City, you're gonna fall behind, and that's inevitably what we've done again. It's inevitably what we want again. Carragher says things to engage conversations. And yeah, well, I mean, yeah, Sky have gone a little bit more down the clickbait route, haven't they, to be fair? Gamer Guru, it's a Jamaican accent. How can people not tell? It's just, I don't know if it's maybe, yeah, these kids, they need to educate them a bit better about what an accent is. I get Yorkshire. I get Welsh, but it's never what a Liverpool accent. It's not Scouse. It's really not. Brady says, did you see the Rangers result today? So happy my two teams are playing well, but Real could be playing better, to be honest. Real have not played well today. AJ123 about the Roma fans, or did I mishear it? No, it was a comment on the chat over here that said Lazio fans, they're fascist. Lazio fans was the comment from one of the chat. But I said about Roma fans, I didn't enjoy it in Rome. Foxy says, I thought Botswana accent. South African. We can do you pyrotechnics. I want a pyrotechnics and light show. Truman, what game is on? It is on Premier Sports. Yeah, Premier Sports. Rohale says every team has bad fans. Yeah, listen, there's good and bad people. It's not, like I said, we've said this earlier, it's not exclusive to one club. There's good and bad fans in every... There's bad ultras in different clubs, isn't there, ultimately? Right, couple of changes here for Real Madrid. Trent Alexander-Arnold coming on. Gonzalo going off for Brahim Diaz. Trent Alexander-Arnold about to come on and play a little 15-minute cameo. for Jimenez. Jimenez off, Trent on. Mackenzie, Eddie Howe needs to turn this around quick or it'll get ugly. Do you think there is a world where he gets sacked before the end of the season? Or do you think he might walk? I wonder if there's a job that Eddie Howe could maybe be teased away for in the league. Ro Hale says, Ultras are not the sort of people to be around, but I don't go to matches anyway, so thankfully avoid them. Yep, true enough. Connor says 11:30pm, I'll probably watch an hour and head off to sleep for work tomorrow. What time are you up for work in the morning, Connor? Is it an early morning shift? Brady says, I know it's about Italy, but I remember when Rangers played Slavia Prague, the goalkeeper was racist and the fans were shouting abuse to Glenn Kamara when he scored. It's sad, yeah. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of history with that in La Liga, of course, isn't there? You know, remember Eto'o walking off the pitch and stuff when he was at Barcelona. I think even when he was at Real Mallorca, he had to deal with it. It's sad. He said there are no requirements for Eddie Howe to meet this season. There are no requirements for Eddie Howe to meet. That's interesting. Given the money spent, I would have thought that it would have been at least some sort of a minimum expectation, because they've had a relatively... The only real player they lost in the summer was Isak, wasn't it? They've not had a massive... Like, the best player's gone, fair enough, get it. But they've not spent money. They've spent huge money on Ramsey, on Voltemade, on Wisser. Again, and Wisser, a player that is probably poor recruitment from the club side. I don't know whether these are players... Apparently, Jacob Ramsey is a player that Eddie Howe pushed for. And he hasn't really played him a lot. It feels like Lewis Miley's had more game time than Ramsey since he's come in. Abstract Wolfie says, claiming Arsenal spent more than Liverpool. Liverpool spent over 400 million and Arsenal spent more. It's just simple. Again, Google's really free, lads. Aaron, do you still think you can make Champions League? Yes, we'll make Champions League. Mackenzie, it's because of what happened. We had no sporting director, so Eddie Howe's cousin was sorting transfers. That was a little bit like what happened with us last season with Klopp. Or last year, rather. Back end of the Klopp sort of thing. It was Jorge Schmadtke, wasn't it? Jorg Schmadtke was the manager of director of football, or whatever his title was. Manager of player partnerships, or whatever it was. It was some sort of mad thing, wasn't it? Coley says, Carragher saying in studio that Champions League is going to be so difficult and a big ask for Liverpool now. I mean, that would be the thing you would say, wouldn't it, if you was... One trying. Listen, what's Carragher got to appear for Sky? He's got to appear. Not only does he have to appear biased, he actually has to appear critical of Liverpool to address the bias and the balance. Because if he says things that maybe most people would agree with, there's the thing: football opinions. Everyone's got one, of course, but it feels like when it comes to the pundits, they have to kind of overcorrect. So Gary Neville gets a lot of stick from United fans often for being too harsh on certain players and too harsh about the club. Carragher's the same with Liverpool now. It feels like almost they get the opportunity to praise each other's team. Like Keane will praise Liverpool, and then Wright will praise Liverpool, and then Gary Neville will praise Liverpool, and then Carragher doesn't really do an awful lot of that. And it's the same with United, it's the same with Arsenal. Arsenal get a lot of praise from certain people, and then you'll see even Micah Richards is obviously an Arsenal fan, isn't he? You'll see Micah Richards, you'll see Ian Wright maybe giving him a bit more stick. Aaron says, don't think you catch us or Chelsea, maybe Villa. That would, I imagine a lot of United fans feel that way at this moment in time. Top 5 predictions, I think it's going to be City, Arsenal, in some order. Probably Arsenal, City. Arsenal, City. Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Villa. Which I know is top 6, but yeah, that would be my top 6. Zachary, yo, Julius, mine's Roma 4-3. Coley says Neville had a lot of stick today for his commentary from LFC and Arsenal fans saying he was gagging for City to win. But you know what, though? I think, again, they've got vested interests. They've got vested interests in these sorts of things. Like, Gary Neville makes money when there's more discussion. Like, if the title race is a procession, let's say Arsenal win the league by 20, 30 points, they make a lot less money. So they make money by creating talking points, and if those talking points don't involve the top teams, like, let's say Liverpool massively fell off, right? And City massively fell off, and Arsenal smashed at the title, they won it by 15, 20 points, and the top 4 or 5 was wrapped up a month before the end of the season. They would spend their time talking about the relegation battle, assuming there was one, or maybe the race for the Europa Conference League. In which case, they're talking about teams involving, Brentford and Brighton, Fulham, and with the nicest possible, they're not big teams. They're not teams with huge international fan bases. Therefore, sponsors pay less money. Therefore, they make less money. So they don't want to have a simple, dreary title race. It's in their interests to manufacture intensity and doubt. So doubt where there's certainty, create doubt where there's certainty, wherever there is. And that's the thing where Arsenal fans will get riled up in the title race because they'll be like, why are they giving us such stick? They're desperate for us to lose. It's not that they're desperate for you to lose. It's that they make more money if City are chasing you down. So the pressure, that's why the pressure gets to teams in title races. Did Madrid score a penalty? No, they didn't. It was Carreras. Truman says most of the time when people talk about spending, there is no mention of players' salary. Yeah, no mention of players' salary, no mention of players, cooking wages or whatever. There's all sorts of stuff, extra factors you've got to factor in. But no, I think net spend is really important because it shows how much a club has invested ahead of schedule without risk. Kalulu scored, Julius. Juve scored 2-2 in the last minute. Rohale says, as a Liverpool fan, I can't believe I'm saying this, but United really can make the top 4. They can. Yeah, they could make top 5. Top 5 is probably what it takes to get Champions League footy. They certainly can make it, but I don't think they do. I think it's between Villa and United for that 5th spot. I think Liverpool and Chelsea will lock it in towards the end of the season. And I think Villa and United you could flip a coin for. It might well be United. Depends how badly Villa fall off. AJ says, will you be live tomorrow? I'm live every day, AJ. Every single day, without fail, I'm live every single day. Unless there's something drastic that happens, like a power cut or an alien invasion. I don't know. I'm live every single day watching games of football with you. That's what I do. We're live tomorrow for Sheffield United against Middlesbrough. We're live for West Ham against Man United on Tuesday. We're live for Liverpool away at Sunderland on Wednesday, Arsenal away at Brentford on Thursday, and then Hull against Chelsea in the FA Cup on Friday night. Sando says, how much do you think Arda Güler is worth? He's been linked with Prem sides for 80 million. Seems a lot, that. I wouldn't pay anywhere close to 80 million for him. I don't think Arda Güler is a top quality player. I actually think Mastantuono is better than Güler, to be honest. He's been starting Mastantuono a lot more. I think Mastantuono is a better player than him. Good player, like he's all right, Güler, but I don't think he's a Real Madrid player. What we're saying. Sorry, be yourself, Dylan says Middlesbrough can go top tomorrow if they win. Sam, Uncle Fester, when you stopping Arsenal hate watches? Never. I'll be doing Arsenal watch-alongs and Liverpool watch-alongs and Chelsea watch-alongs as long as I've got breath in my body, mate. Mikey, yeah, I said you hadn't a clue. It's a great argument, Mikey. It's a great argument. 3 stars says, if you think Arsenal are going to win the league, hit the likes, please. If you think they're going to win by 15 plus points, hit the subscribe button, thanks. Foxy, Coventry are bottling it. Yeah, listen, Middlesbrough, that's a big game tomorrow. Sheffield United are, I think, 9 points off the playoffs, 7 points off the relegation zone. It feels like a big game for Chris Wilder tomorrow, that one, to be honest. Mikey, have you ever played ball? I've played football. Are you talking about the same thing? We're talking about the same thing. I've played football. Have you played ball? It's usually basketball, that, isn't it, when people say that? Are you American? Maybe you're American. I don't know. Have you ever played ball? Have you ever played ball, bro? Yo, Joe, how's it going, lad? Anna Permo says it wasn't unpleasant. A key sleep paralysis would be a nightmare. Arsenal boring. I love them that they're boring. A key sleep paralysis demon. Suhel says, do you think Carrick is right for Manchester? No. I mean, he's right. He's right for right now. He's certainly right for right now. Rohill says, if Coventry miss out on returning to the Premier League after years, it'll be a disgrace. There are no excuses for failing to get promoted from where they were. It was a big chance, wasn't it, for them? And they kind of fell off a little bit. Be interesting to see what Lampard does between now and the end of the season. Oh, sorry. What was the first message? I'll be honest, I'm a wee bit unblocked. What's an unblocked? Dozed off listening and woke up and forgot I had you on. Oh, sorry. Unblocked. I've never heard that phrase. Mikey, yeah, football, mate. So you're asking me have I ever played football? I have played football, yeah. What would that make a difference? Have you played football? Does it mean like I've not followed your career, Mikey? I haven't followed your career, Mikey, but I didn't see you in Barcelona. I haven't seen you at the top level, but I don't think that means you've got less of an opinion, mate. You ain't play half decent standard in your life, so you don't get how hard things are. Maybe I don't. Yeah, listen, I don't profess to know how hard things are as a professional footballer. I don't profess to. But what do you mean by half decent standard? What level's half decent? What level have you played to, Mikey? Adzo says that Diamond linked to Liverpool again for 85 million. Do you think he's worth that? Looks quality. No, I don't think he's worth 85 million quid. He's a player who was at Levante last season. Not Levante, Leganés, sorry. Doing very, very well in La Liga. He got a move to RB Leipzig. He's done quite well, but he's still very, very new. I think it's one of them. Same with Jacquet, to be honest. Jeremy Jacquet is another one where we're kind of taking gambles on young players. Which I get, we have to do a little bit, but... So why all the hate? Just hate the club even for Gyok. When he scored, that's what he's there to do. Mikey, you've not answered the question, mate. What level did you play to? What's a decent standard? I just want to know the bar that you have to get to in order to be able to commentate on football or talk football. Of course, there's plenty of like pundits, proper national pundits who never played to a decent level. John Motson never played to a decent level. Plenty of managers, actually. There's plenty of managers who never actually played football. Oh, Madrid, Mbappe, 2-0. 2-0, there you go. 2-0 Madrid. It was a good ball across from Brahim Diaz and an easy tap in, to be honest, for Mbappe. And now it's 2-0. 2-0. I've played semi-professional. You've played semi-professional. So you've been paid to play football. Wow. Hey, check it out. We've got a semi-pro in the chat. Well, either maybe you know more than I do, Mikey. I wouldn't profess to know more than you, mate. But I also wouldn't exclude you from a conversation. I wouldn't say you're not able to have a chat. Reece said, you're so traditionally English, Key. A bit old before your time, but sense of humour's so dry you could give stand-up comedy a whirl. Nah. I've always said that's a sort of bucket list type thing. Like if I got diagnosed with something terrible and I really, really wanted to, go out in style, I'd probably make sure I went and did like an open mic night at the Frog and Bucket. I'd have to rehearse to the life, but we'd have to see how it goes. Now look, if you're doing the hate for views, you got me. If not, you may STF you, because the hate's crazy. I don't know what you mean by the hate's crazy. What do you mean by the hate's crazy? There's no hate. There's no hate, Mike. Yeah, there's no hate. It's all love, mate. It's all love. Just watching football. Just enjoying footy. Same as anyone else. I watch football every day. I love watching football. And I see it how I call it. I call it how I see it. Whatever. Yeah. It's been a long day. 3 games. Yeah. If my team's winning, I'm cheering. If a team that I don't like a Chelsea or an Everton or a United, is losing, I'm laughing, I'm cheering. If my team's getting beat, as you saw today, my head's down, I'm arsey. I react how I react. I'm human. We're all human. This is how we react watching football, innit? Let's not pretend we're any better than each other. It's an emotional game. Suhel, have you thought to be a football commentator? Have I thought to be a football commentator? When the TikTok edits come up, it's crazy. What you know that I don't do those, right? You know that I don't do those. Just a heads up, that's nothing to do with me. The TikTok edits are nothing to do with me. Gary says, is Fabregas on the radar of big English clubs? Would Newcastle be a good move? I don't think he'd go to Newcastle, would he? Would he go to Newcastle? But they are all the hate rants is all. There's no hate. No hate. It's all good. It's all good fun. On a permo, let's just see how big your channel gets. And here you can take it. Well, listen, we've only been doing it a year. I've been doing it a year. We're on course we're nearly at 4 million views, actually, in 12 months. nearly 14,500 subscribers. Or certainly a decent number of subscribers anyway. 14 and a bit, whatever it is. Nearly 4 million views. It's bigger than I thought it would be. Since I only started it I didn't think it'd go this far, to be honest. Mikey, anyway, thoughts on the Szoboszlai red? The Szoboszlai red card, I didn't think was a red card. I thought he was pulled back by Haaland. I think he pulled Haaland. I think it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I don't think it benefits either team for him to be sent off. I think it was a referee being overly officious, I would call it. And when you get referees who are overly officious, it doesn't benefit football. I don't think it was a penalty. I thought Liverpool played quite well, or at least well enough to have earned a point against a side that could well be champions by the end of the season. I'm not saying they will, by the way. I still think Arsenal win the league. But if it's infinitely possible that City win the league, isn't it? 6 points is not an insurmountable gap. So maybe they do. Maybe City win the league. And if they do, then a point at home against them wouldn't have been a terrible result. Even if they finish second, a point at home at City is not a terrible result. But a disappointing result all the same, to lose in the last minute to a penalty which I thought was very, very soft. And the referee did what he did and sent Szoboszlai off, which just wasn't needed. It didn't help anyone. Nobody gained an advantage by that. If the goal goes in, the ball's in the net, isn't it? The ball is in the net. He could have just given the goal. I don't think anyone really would have been that arsed. I'd have rather the game finished 3-1. And I think City probably would, wouldn't they? If City lose the goal, let's say City lose the league on goal difference due to 1 goal, and that's the goal. Can you imagine if that's the situation? Right, well, it's full time here. Sorry, full time at the Mestalla. Yeah, full time for the Mestalla, and it's Valencia 0, Real Madrid 2. Disappointing game, to be honest. It feels like we've just had. To be honest, looking back at all the games today, Liverpool and City was the best, probably the best game of the lot, and even that wasn't particularly exciting until the final few minutes. And that's from if you were a neutral, it was awful for me. But today's games have been pretty poor. Yeah, Brighton and Palace was a bit of a dead rubber. The Sarr goal makes it, puts Palace in front, and it's a big goal for them. First win in 10 games. For Liverpool, disappointing, leaves us quite a way off the Champions League places where we need to be, and it puts City right back into a title race. I don't really think there's a title race, but it puts a bit of pressure now on Arsenal. City have to go and do the job against Fulham, and maybe hope that Brentford can do something in midweek. The G-Tech's a really tough place for Brentford, for Arsenal to go to. We'll have to see how they fare, and and then we've got this one tonight, Valencia 0, Real Madrid 2. Hopefully we'll get a better game tomorrow. Hopefully all the noise and all the bluster will have calmed down about Liverpool tonight, and we can have a confident, comfortable, reassuring chat tomorrow about the Sheffield United Middlesbrough game at Bramall Lane. So we'll be doing that one tomorrow. Chris Wilder's Sheffield United against Kim Hellberg's Championship title-chasing Middlesbrough. Monday night football. If you want to watch along with me, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. We do all sorts of games on this channel. All sorts. We're doing the FA Cup next week. Chelsea against Hull. We're doing Burton Albion against West Ham. All sorts of games. So if you want to watch the FA Cup with us, if you want to watch a bit of La Liga, a bit of the Champions League, the Premier League, all the big games, all the different teams, we do at least one game every single day on this channel. We were live on Christmas Day, live on New Year's Day, live on New Year's Eve. And we did 512 games last year for 40 competitions. If that's your thing, if you like watch-alongs, if you enjoy that sort of thing, hit the like button and subscribe. If you're only here to have a bit of a troll and have a laugh and have a comment, that's all good too. I really appreciate you coming in as well. Lots of love. Have a great Sunday night, whatever you're doing. Take it easy, and I will see you all soon.